Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour, your source for news, talk, and uncensored commentary here on your Lone Star Community Radio. I am Douglas B., your host, and you can listen to Veterans Air live the first Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. You can listen to past shows at Lone Star Community Radio, on our Facebook page, or wherever you get your fine podcasts. Hey, look at that Apple! You got a free shout out. As always, a little housekeeping. You can contact Veterans Air through our website www.veteransair.us, or you can leave us a message, or better yet, you can text us in the studio on our Google phone 936-344-3083. This is a special broadcast of Veterans Air for Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. I guess I'm happy. I'm still on this side of the dirt. And that means that every day I'm still wake up and I can hope for a better future. It has become a tradition in the past 5 to 6 years here on Veterans Air, and that I read a day in the life of a veteran, and we're gonna do that. But first I want to talk to you. And when I say you, I mean all of you that are not veterans that are listening to the show. You need to understand about veterans if you're not a veteran, if you haven't worn the uniform. You need to understand the old man on a walker in Walmart wearing that World War II veterans cap. You need to understand that at one time, he was more badass than you could ever imagine. There is a reason why the World War II veterans and people of that era were known as the greatest generation. And that's with a capital G in greatest generation. They were the greatest generation because of their actions, their deeds, what they created, what they stood for, and for the hardships and sacrifices that they had to make. Everyone, both soldier and civilian, had to make these sacrifices and endure these hardships. So before you push them out of the way or get disgusted by how slow and not with it they are, remember, 50 years ago, that same old man or old woman would have knocked your teeth out with one punch for being disrespectful. That long gray-haired old man with the long unkept beard wearing a Vietnam ball cap, you need to understand that he spent his 18th birthday in the jungles of a hell called Vietnam, knee-deep in the mud, the blood, and the guts of his fellow soldiers. The bullets took his friends, and when he got home, the lawyers took everything else. He struggles to understand why he's alive and so many others are dead. Do not judge until you've gone to Washington, D.C. and read every name on the wall. You see that man or that woman missing arms and legs? Do you see them wearing a VFW cap and sometimes mumbling to themselves, sometimes crying silent tears? They spent years in a desert called Iran, Iraq, and Afghanistan. Our country called to them in our hour of need, and they unselfishly answered that call. They have returned to us, to our country, with crushed bodies or minds, with injuries that would cripple the average Joe. But they're getting up each morning and doing what they need to do. All of these people, whether broken or whole, have something in common. They're all brothers and sisters to each other. These people deserve dignity and respect because not only have they earned it, but they have paid for it with a price that's hard to understand. You don't need to love or even like a veteran. They won't ask you to do that. But one day a year, you should stop and thank a veteran, and that day is today. That veteran is probably your mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, or cousin. I say this because there are 16.5 million veterans in America by last count. That's 6.4% of the entire population is a veteran. Chances are you know one. All any veterans ask is that his or her nation recognizes them and what they once did. You're out there on the streets waving other countries' flags. You're not a Palestinian. You're not a Venezuelan. You're not Mexican. You're not Italian or French or any other country. You are an American. Go ahead and protest. Veterans, both living and dead, gave you that right. But know this. Know this as your peaceful protests. Know this about your peaceful protests. Burning down cities is not a peaceful protest. Veterans took an oath to support and defend the U.S. Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic, and they bear true faith and allegiance to the same. No one has ever relieved them of their oath. This is what it means to be a veteran. We're going to play United Healthcare's promo because they do sponsor this show. Thank you, United Healthcare. Thank you, East Meets West Productions, who also sponsors this show and pays me while I'm sitting here talking with y'all. We'll be right back after these messages.
Medicare can be confusing, but it doesn't have to be. My name is Andrea Corpening, and I am an agent authorized to offer AARP Medicare plans from United Healthcare Insurance Company. I can guide my clients through understanding Medicare coverage options and help them discover what may make AARP Medicare plans from United Healthcare a great choice. I can be reached at 281-773-6239. That's Andrea Corpening at 281-773-6239. I can help those find a plan with confidence.
Welcome back to Veterans Air, the Veterans Hour. No? Dick's giving me ambiguous hand signs. I'm going to keep going until he tells me to stop. Welcome back to Veterans Air. It is Veterans Day, and as I said earlier, we have sort of a tradition here at Veterans Air, is that I read to you a day in the life of a veteran. I wrote this in the middle of the night a few years back, and I haven't changed it much. I put a comma in here, a misspelling there, but basically it's how I wrote it in the middle of the night. As you listen to this, please think about the veterans that you know and the ones that you love, as this might explain some of what they do and why they are the way they are. Day in the life of a veteran. He wakes before dawn, not because he wants to. His back and legs wake him today like most mornings. He doesn't mind much. If pain is the price he must pay for the life that he has led, then so be it. It's not that bad, he thinks. Others have it worse than me. At least I can have my morning coffee before the wife wakes. He takes his coffee to the porch and adds a splash of bourbon as he lights his first cigarette of the day. He thinks his wife doesn't know about the bourbon, but she does. It eases the pain better than the 14 pills the VA has him on. It's not the years, it's the miles, he thinks. He is only in his late 50s, but his body is almost used up. The sun has risen now, and he sees the younger kids come out and head to the bus stop on the corner. Nice enough kids, they just stay off his damn lawn. He gets up and puts out his flag, as he does every morning. He displays it with pride and salutes it, even in his bathrobe. He doesn't care what anybody looking on might think. He renders honors where honors are due. He has his oath, and he keeps that oath sacred. His wife calls out that breakfast is ready. He comes inside and kisses his wife, thankful that she's stood by him no matter all the trials and tribulations or where they had to live in their lives. Breakfast, he thinks, low carb, low fat, no salt nonsense. Still, she's taking care of this old man the best she can, he muses. He's going to try to get some things done around the house today, even if the handyman doesn't show up again. Today is a special day, and he needs to be where he needs to be by 11 a.m. He needs to obey his oath and pay honors where honors are due. Today isn't about him. He goes inside to shower and shave. No stubble today. That just won't do. Looks like he needs to run the clippers over his head too. Hair is getting to be almost a quarter-inch long. Damn hippie, he thinks. He shines his shoes carefully to a high-gloss shine. He puts on his dark pressed suit pants. The crease is razor sharp. His wife has laid out a clean, starched white shirt and his shadow box. He opens the box only twice a year now. It's filled with mementos of another life. He reaches for his salad bar, pieces of pretty ribbon. It's only 4 rows, but as he runs his fingers across them, feeling the stars and the oak leaf clusters, he remembers each for what it cost him. The price he paid for those pretty ribbons, others might say, is just too much. They'll never know, and as God is my witness, neither will my wife or my children, he thinks. He pulls into the parking lot and sees the others have already started to form up. He takes his place in line along with others just like him, dressed and wearing their own ribbons. Nodding to friends, he comes to attention. Damn Cain, he thinks, breaks the line of his cut. At least he doesn't need to be in the wheelchair this year. He gives thanks to the neurosurgeons that fused steel to his spine, allowing him to leave the chair behind today. The music starts. He salutes the flag and recites the pledge. That pledge means something to him, as it means something to all the others gathered here today. After the ceremony, he'll follow the VIPs and dignitaries inside for coffee and cake. He'll look around at these gathered men and women, some old, some young, all bearing witness to what they paid for the oath that they took. Today is Veterans Day, a day this country honors men and women like him, those that survived their service to their country. And he knows he's just another old wolf in a pack of old wolves, battered and bruised, weak of body yet stout of heart. Still strong-willed, his determination and honor have not faltered through the passing of these years. He knows his country will never look to him to be its warrior again, But he knows if his countrymen did call for him, he would answer that call. His oath has never weakened. He thinks someday he'll stand before the gates of Valhalla, before God and those who came before him, and they will ask him, "Who are you and what have you done?" He shall answer in a voice both clear and strong, "I am what others failed to be. I am a defender for those who could not defend themselves. I am a protector for those who could not protect themselves. I guard the gates of my country and my countrymen. I am a U.S. soldier, and I'm finally home." This is what it means to be a veteran. This is what every veteran, man and woman, thinks when they open their eyes on November 11th. We can talk eloquently about why November 11th at 11 a.m. for armistice, or why we're handing out poppies on this day. But all of those are really within the American psyche already. What's not in the American psyche is to know why we do these things and why we honor our veterans. It's because of what they've done. It's because of what you have done, the life that you led, the service that you rendered. Whether that be a 4-year hitch or 22 years, you were part of something larger than yourselves. You were committed to something greater than yourself. A lot of veterans that I talk to don't know what to say when someone says, "Happy Veterans Day," or "Thank you for your service." There's not much to say, but if you have to say something, tell them that it was an honor to have served, because it is an honor. Not everyone can. Not everyone could. That's why there's only 16.4 million veterans alive. Alive. That's from World War II and forward. 6% of the population that last count. There are people that wanted to wear the uniform of their country, to defend and to protect, but for whatever reason they couldn't. The title of veteran is earned. It's not given. Wear it with pride, veterans. Wear it with honor, brothers and sisters. I want to thank you for listening to my broadcast. If it's before noon, please head on over to the VFW 4709. They are serving lunch to veterans and their families today. And I, for one, plan to go over there and eat everything that I can. So get there early. In closing, I want to leave you with this song by Sailor Jerry called Hallelujah. Sailor Jerry's our friend and fellow veteran. You can go download it from VeteransAir.us or on iTunes. And while we're listening, let us remember our brothers and sisters in uniform that today are standing in harm's way for our freedoms and our liberties. If you are wearing the uniform, or if you have worn the uniform, I want to say to you, thank you. I want to say to you, I'm proud of you. And until next month, stay safe and stay vigilant.
You packed your bags and shut the door. You crossed the sea to fight a war. You didn't know just what would happen to ya. Stepped in the dirt, boots on every day and every night. You walk the walk, you fight the fight. You never saw the end in sight, now did ya? The days are washing our hairs of red, the blood, the mud, too many dead. Your weary soul was crying hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Too late to help you hear a shot. You know you're in a deadly spot. You never thought the day would come, now did ya? Your brother falls down to the ground. The enemy is all around, and from your lips you scream a hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. You fought the fight till it was done. You have the strength to carry on. You thought it'd be much better back home, did ya? You try each day, keep pushing through, but the battle